It's Tuesday, and at GPFans we're preparing for the last consecutive race of the triple header with the Austrian Grand Prix coming up this weekend. You can be prepared for it too by hitting the subscribe button and staying up to date with all of our Formula 1 content here on the GPFans channel. Now that's out of the way, here is the news in Formula 1, including cross-team teamwork making the dream work, and Nikita not too happy with what's going on at Haas. Carlos Sainz has revealed how Ferrari had to call in a favour from Mercedes in a bid to help the Spaniard during the Styrian Grand Prix. Sainz finished 6th at the Red Bull Ring, producing a performance he has described as his most complete race since he joined to move to the Scuderia from McLaren over the winter. But his efforts were almost ruined after his pit stop when he came out focused on chasing down the McLaren of Lando Norris, who eventually finished 5th as the best of the rest behind the Red Bull and Mercedes cars. As the Spaniard emerged from the pits, he was lapped by Lewis Hamilton, but once his tyres were up to temperature, he was more than a match for the Mercedes in front, prompting an intervention from Ferrari. Sainz explained, "It was a very strange scenario because I came out of the pits on a very fresh hard tyre, really looking forward to chasing Lando because we clearly had the pace to go and catch him. Unfortunately, in the outlap, I had to let Lewis pass because I got blue flags while I was getting the tyre up to temperature. From then on, I expected Lewis to pull over, but for some reason he didn't. Maybe Mercedes were struggling a bit with tyres. I was quite a bit quicker than him, but I also didn't want to do anything stupid. I know he's fighting for the championship. He's in P2 in the race, and I didn't want to compromise his race. But at the same time, I was getting a bit impatient because I could see that we were not catching Lando and that he was not going to lap Lando. At some point, together with my team, we found a way to transmit to Mercedes that it would be very nice of them if they could let us by, and I got within DRS and then they let us by and I could start chasing Lando again. Those 15 laps behind Lewis, killing the front tyres, trying to get within DRS were not ideal and probably compromised the rest of the race, but sometimes you get these kinds of situations." Just a week after Ferrari emerged from the French Grand Prix baffled by its display as both Sainz and Charles Leclerc slipped out of the top 10 due to tyre issues, the duo were back up to speed in Styria. Sainz had started 12th but worked his way through the field thanks to a decision to run long on the medium tyres, making them last 41 laps before making his first stop of the race. Leclerc, meanwhile, rose to 7th following a lap 1 collision with AlphaTauri's Pierre Gasly that dropped him to 18th after a front wing change. Assessing his own race, Sainz said, "I just needed to make sure that I kept the tyres healthy for when I got clean air, but to be honest, what I am most happy about is the pace once the clean air appeared. We managed to go down 1 second on lap time. We managed to start lapping at a very competitive pace, competitive than the McLaren and very close to the leaders. The car was amazing and it has probably been my most complete race since I am in Ferrari. Just the whole pace management, tyre management, pace, overall, it's been one of the best. Quite proud about that one." Elsewhere around the grid, and Nikita Mazepin has launched a critical attack on his team Haas, suggesting he was a carrot for teammate Mick Schumacher to catch during the Styrian Grand Prix. Russian rookie Mazepin has finished last in 5 of the 8 races of his F1 career to date, during which time teammate Mick Schumacher has courted praise after finishing as the lead Haas driver on all but one occasion, that one being in Monaco. Reflecting on his latest performance at the Red Bull Ring, where he was again last of the 18 classified drivers, Mazepin said, "I think I did a very good opening lap. I was happy with my positioning. I had prepared for that this morning to know very well where potentially there could be a bunch of cars and how to get past them." Then, pointing an accusing finger at Haas, Mazepin added, "But when you have a lot of laps, long straights, and you have a very heavy car compared to the other car in our team, it is very difficult to stay ahead. I'm not happy, but I'm just waiting for a new one to have a chance because at the moment I'm just a sitting duck. I do my very best at the beginning and then I'm just a carrot to be caught, and unfortunately, I was caught, so that is what it is. Ahead of the race, Schumacher's comfort in his VF21 was a talking point after Sebastian Vettel had been seen peering into his countryman's cockpit a week previously in France. Responding to questions on the topic, team principal Gunther Steiner claimed Schumacher would receive a new seat once requested. On the other side of the garage, Mazepin was not so sure his complaints would be addressed in such a timely fashion. Asked whether he was expecting changes soon, Mazepin replied, "Unfortunately not. Maybe in the next 6-7 races, but that is not very soon." So after he riled up half of the grid in his first few races of the season, do you have sympathy for Mazepin and his treatment at Haas? And Ferrari had their big bounce back from a disaster in France, but can Sainz or Leclerc prevent Lando Norris from picking up another 5th place finish this coming weekend at the Austrian Grand Prix? Let us know in the comments section below, and we got into these topics and plenty more on the GPFans Steward Room podcast, so don't forget to check that out too on all good podcasting outlets, and of course hit the subscribe button here to stay up to date with all of our content throughout the F1 season here at GPFans.